Episode 33 of the No Narratives podcast. I got my guy Quinn Sports in with me, man. Thank you for filling in as always. It's been
So
a
yeah,
while since we. What's up, man?
yeah. I mean, shoot, Christmas
It's
has
been a
been
while.
here. We
It's yeah.
Christmas
It's
we
been
just wrapped up Christmas.
yeah.
Had to go see the fam and everything. So now we're back on the grind to give y'all content.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while, but we back. Uh, it's a lot been going on in the NBA world. One particular very annoying subject. I want to let you. I guess I'll let you lead this episode today, or lead the topics. I guess. You can go. You had a sequence in the order that you wanted to sequence it in. So, without further ado, it's on you, Quinn.
Yeah, I wanted to do an episode. We're at the 30 game mark. We're about a third into the season, right? And so I want us to kind of address some of our predictions, and we've kind of hit on some of these throughout our episodes. But this one, I kind of want to go over like how are we feeling now that we're a third of the way through? Like, do we feel different about contenders? Do we feel different about most improved? 6 man of the year. Those conversations are interesting to me because I mean we all know the big names for the MVP and stuff, but most improved is always going to be interesting because it's nice seeing a player improve and make their team better. But there's so many people that can always get that award every year. Same thing with 6 man of the year, and just any wild takes we may have had. Let's update and see how things are going, how things may go for us in the future with these predictions. So I want to start off. I think the 6 man of the year award is probably not going to be close this year. I'm going to say that Russell Westbrook will probably run away with the award. Most
Okay.
and this is what I said at the beginning. I said he's going to thrive in that system. Russ is playing really well this year. He's averaging a solid 12, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. But he's just doing what he's supposed to do and just kind of helping them get to the next level. Like the Nuggets' problems really aren't really his. I mean, it's the main guys that are all regressing. So I can't really put a lot of onus on Russ for whatever underperformance that we expect the Nuggets to have. But he's been playing well, and I mean, he plays well off of Nikola Jokic. He plays well with those young guys they got. I don't really see anyone else coming close to him right now.
I feel like it's somebody. I feel like it's somebody we missing. I can't. I didn't even cut you off, but I feel like it's somebody we missing. I heard it. I heard it on some other podcast. I can't think of the person's name right now, so forgive me. But yeah, keep going. But I feel like it's somebody we forgetting. I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
Russ for sure. Most improved is hard because I feel like a lot of guys improved this year. Isaiah Joe improved this year. Well, at least it feels like he did. Gosh, I mean, and also Rookie of the Year. I mean, I kind of feel like this year's been underwhelming as far as rookies. People want to throw in maybe Dalton Connect. I'm trying to think who else would even be that's really doing well as a rookie because we had a weak draft class. So,
Stephen Castle right now is leading. Stephen Castle right now he's leading the way. For the Rookie of the Year. Peyton Pritchard right now is the favorite. He's the odds-on favorite to win 6 man of the year. He's a betting favorite.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook has started 7 games this season. I'm just going to give a little competition for my guy, just a little bit. You said Russell Westbrook's numbers was what, 12, 4, and 6? 12. Okay, so Amen Thompson is 12, 7, and 2. Coming off the bench, he's only started in 3 games. 29, so 26 games off the bench.
First year, right? Or
Who?
second year?
Amen Thompson. It's his second season.
Second season, okay.
Second season, yeah. So he's really doing a really good job. But yeah, Peyton Pritchard is he's definitely one of the odds-on favorite. Nas Reed, Ty Jerome in Cleveland. Jonathan Kuminga. There's some competition. I think Russell Westbrook is the biggest name by far. Absolutely. But I wouldn't say that he's just a runaway favorite as of now, but he has been really impressive. To be honest, Denver has been better with him in the starting lineup than with him coming off the bench.
Yeah, just and I'm giving Russ some extra boost because I feel like he plays a much more important role than I mean, Boston's whole team's good. I don't want to take away from what Peyton,
I understand what you're saying. That makes
but
sense.
like I feel like the Nuggets need what Westbrook does more than what Boston needs Peyton to do. And obviously,
I got you.
has a higher record, so that's always going to help you when it comes to winning these awards.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean that makes a lot of sense. Like you said, like Boston could live without Peyton Pritchard. You know what I'm saying? They could live without him. Denver, they kind of need Russell Westbrook's intensity, especially when he gets slotted into the starting lineup. They really need him. I mean, their record is really elite. It's damn near like, why is he coming off the bench? It's damn near at that level because I think they're 10-10 when he comes off the bench. They're 10-10. You know what I'm saying? Versus when Russell Westbrook starts.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think. Like I admit I had not watched enough Cleveland to know Ty Jerome.
Me neither.
That's going to be.
But I was just looking at the favorites.
Yeah,
I was just looking at the favorites
going into next season. Try to see some more of these teams that I haven't had a chance to look at.
The Nuggets are 6-1 when Russell Westbrook starts, and I also think how you feel in when you start helps your 6-man case a little bit. I do think that.
Oh yeah, it should absolutely factor in.
I do think that. Yeah. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all, bro.
Who would you say? Who's your nominee for probably like a top 4 candidate for most improved?
Oh man, to be honest with you, bro,
just one name.
One name, most improved.
Yeah.
Dog, I can't lie to you, dog. I haven't. Jalen Williams. I from OKC. Jalen Williams from OKC. I would say he's probably the candidate for most improved. My parameter for that is he's going to go from, in my opinion, being a non-all-star to an all-star. And I think that's a bigger jump than going from being a 12th man in a rotation to an 8th man in a rotation, in my opinion. Like this year, he's averaging 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 49% from the field, 38% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. I would say it's Jalen Williams the most improved. That's just my opinion. He's 23 years old. He's a stud. And that would be my pick.
Okay.
I don't have a top 4 candidates. I'm sorry. I've really been locked in on the Rockets this year. Like I've been locked in. You know what I mean? And yeah, that would be my Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, that was also someone that I was gonna go. Whoever that person is, my picks were going to be on the Eastern Conference.
Okay, so your pick is for the most improved. In the East.
My pick actually was going to be either Cade, and I know this is kind of blasphemy because his stats more or less are kind of the same, but Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs, okay.
Yeah, I
think
really
the whole
like
Orlando roster is
Jalen Suggs. Stepped in. I feel like from a leadership and intangibles standpoint, he's improved a lot. Mm-hmm. His counting stats may not be amazing, but he has had games where he's went off plenty of times.
Yeah,
he just leads that team and brings so much energy that like he's a leading guard. Not a lot of eyes are on Orlando, but just like when you watch him, you just see like he's like if Tony Allen had a real offensive package. Mm-hmm. Like imagine if Tony Allen was like a real two-way player, could shoot, play make a little bit, like. That type, and then have the leadership intangibles like that. That really shows a lot of improvement for someone that was injured and didn't get a lot of playing time. But yeah, Cade Cunningham, and I know some people disagree with this on the basis of him being a lottery pick. I don't think that matters when it comes.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think John Morant won it.
Like,
John Morant won it.
Who won it?
John Morant won most improved.
He did.
He was a number 2 overall pick. He gave it to Desmond Bane, but John Morant won it. And a lot of people thought it should have went to his teammate, Desmond Bane. But no, John Morant. I'm looking at the odds right now, brother. I don't know if this is preseason or if it's current. Oh, no, it says updated on December 26th, 8:15 in the morning. Tyler Hero right now is the odds-on favorite. Jalen Williams from OKC, my guy, is second. Jalen Johnson in Atlanta. Dyson Daniels in Atlanta. Cade Cunningham is number 5. Jalen Suggs, your guy, is 6, 7, 11. 11.
Yeah,
he's behind LaMelo Ball.
I just heard about Jalen Johnson this year. Like I just started paying attention to him this year. So I mean, I don't have a base of where he was, but coming out of nowhere and being when we all thought Atlanta wasn't going to have no help, he rose up and he's helped.
Yeah. Dyson Daniels as well, his teammate.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels too. Like he was just a defensive role player. Now in Atlanta, he's like doing all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, oh, he can play like that. I didn't know that. So that's
Yeah.
been a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like K's game, man. Like he finally like has gotten to that level. And like you said earlier, bro, I don't care if you're lottery pick or not. You know, you should if you make a substantial improvement, especially when it comes to expectations, and you meet those, you should be talked about, brought up in those discussions when it comes to
For
most.
sure. And I will say this until I turn blue in the face. To me, it's harder to improve from going to a top 50 player to a top 10 player. It's way more harder because of the names and the players that you got to pass up rather than going from a top 150 player to a top 75 player because the names that you are passing up are not as good. So when Ja Morant made that jump to, in my opinion, being a top 10 player, that was more impressive and more improvement than Desmond Bain going from being a top 300 player to a top
Yeah,
80 player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more improvement. Now, a lot of people think, well, Desmond Bain wasn't drafted here and he didn't do this and he was on the bench and his points per game went from 8 points per game to 22. It's like, yeah, those are big facts. I agree. But also, Ja Morant, all NBA. Like, which one is harder? You know what I'm saying? Like, which
first team,
one is harder?
first team.
First, like it,
Yeah,
like
that's
what,
hard.
which one is it harder for a team to go from lottery to contender or from play in to playoff? Which one is harder? Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's the thing for, or well, I should say play in to contender or lottery to play in. Like, which one is harder, like, or more impressive or more improvement? You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot to get to contention rather than just being lottery to play in. You know what I mean? So I
right.
think that people don't really factor that in when they talk about most improved. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I agree completely because
Mm-hmm.
um, you have a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. Like just your performance on the court has to lapse so many good players that are consistent. So
Yeah.
you're not you're not competing against the role player who may get 4 shots a game, but you're gonna compete against guys that are 1 or 2 options getting anywhere between 15 to 20 shot attempts, and
Mm-hmm.
they gotta win the game. So to come that far is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody from the Rockets that you feel like is most improved? Because I know you've been loving
Mm,
the Rockets.
not necessarily, bro. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody is most improved from the Rockets that even would deserve to be in the top 10. Like I said again, if there was anybody, it would be Amen Thompson. That would be my pick. I don't think it's Jalen. I don't think it's Sengun. I don't think it's Fred or Dylan, not Jabari. Like, I don't know. It's nobody from the Rockets, really. If it was, I would have named them, but I don't
Yeah, I'm
think I
just
don't
saying.
like. Nah, yeah. To be honest with you, bro, like, no, it's nobody, bro. Like, they just a real solid team this year, and hey, I don't really have a lot of gripes as a fan. So yeah.
One thing I wanted us to touch on, and this has been a hot topic for like a week, is the decline of NBA viewership. I feel like we got
Hmm.
our take on it on wax. How you feel about it?
Hmm.
I feel like it's so many different reasons, but I'm gonna hone in on like maybe two, and then that'll lead to our next topic because they're
Hmm.
connected. So, what would you?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead first.
Oh man, I mean, with the ratings talk, bro, I really think that it's just guys that don't like the sport anymore because their favorite athlete isn't playing. I really think it's that simple, bro. Like, like when you go from having a favorite player and you grew up with that favorite player and now that favorite player isn't there anymore and you're an adult now and you got bills and you got real life issues and you go to the game because you missed that love that you had as a kid of watching that player or teen or young adult, whatever, and you don't have that anymore, a lot of that dissipates. Your love for the game dissipates along with what you dealing with in real life. I really think that that's an issue for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I also think that people, just like I said, they truly don't like basketball anymore. I truly don't. I don't think that people like basketball like they say that they do.
Yeah,
And they don't even try to learn why things are the way that they are. they exaggerate, they do stuff, they say things that are inflammatory. Oh, nobody that shoots 32% from three should be taking 16 threes a game. Well, yeah, nobody is doing that.
Yeah.
There isn't a player in the league. And then they get mad when you call that out, but it's like, well, don't exaggerate if you're trying to have a real conversation. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So my bad. You go ahead.
Nah,
Because I got more to say, but you go ahead.
no, bro, you preach the choir. I'm kind of like of the opinion the game, like there's infrastructure problems with the game that has led to it. I think a lot of that specific point you just said, I think a lot of that goes away, especially like I'm not gonna. A lot of people are picking on things that they've had a gripe on for years. Like for example,
Facts.
management, load management. Like they said, oh, the players love it. Nah, see, I think people wouldn't care that much if the games were more accessible. If we didn't have to get damn near 3 different streaming packages so we could watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, I mean, football, you really just need ESPN. Most of the games, if you're just a casual fan, you really maybe just need ESPN at most because you still get plenty of football games on CBS, on Fox, and then most people have Amazon Prime for Thursdays. But I mean, Thursday night football isn't the most like important thing, but like if you got ESPN, you pretty much have covered most of what you're probably going to watch as a fan, and that's very affordable. NBA, you need to have a package that got TNT and ESPN, and now they've broken it all up because all the parent companies. So now if you got Max, you can get a TNT. Now if Disney Plus Christmas Day is streaming the game on Disney Plus now, so you don't need ESPN. Amazon has some of these games now. You got League Pass, which you can't even watch your local games. You got to have the specific cable package that lets you watch your local game because the NBA has a TV deal with that network, so they black them out. And it's just like you're just running all over the place with these different streaming packages to watch these games. And I think that's a big like hurdle for people to get through, especially for casuals. Like it's not there's that, and I also want to say one thing we're kind of talking about is players not coming up with like a background that just attracts people. Because let's look at Kevin Durant had a monster season at UT, and UT fans loved it because they never had a player like Kevin Durant in a long time.
Absolutely, for sure.
So when Kevin goes there, does what he does, it just blows people's minds. And then he has a following going into the NBA. Carmelo Anthony, freshman, won a championship. I never thought I would see that shit, and he did that. And so following came LeBron James, biggest hype prospect that came into it. High school games on national TV, he lived up to that shit. And then you got Anthony Davis, Steph Curry. Like these players had built up a story coming into the league that people could follow. They had did something great that we hadn't seen, but we're not getting that anymore. We're not getting that because, like, I mean, I don't want to pick. I hate to pick on him, but Jason Tatum, who has the chip, but I don't even really all this one and done stuff. Like I forget what he did at Duke, but I remember what he did. I remember what Derrick Rose did at Memphis, right?
Yeah, Melo was one and done. KD was one and done.
Yeah, but they went far and like they were like different, but like
no, KD lost. KD lost, I think, in the second round to USC, DeMar DeRozan and Taj Gibson, like in the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying?
KD was playing for UT. UT never got a player like KD, so that was that. Duke always gets players like that, so it's like easy to forget. Like, well, Duke is an outlier because they always.
I don't know. I'm gonna say this, Quinn. Like the streaming stuff is accurate. You're right, but if you only League Pass only hurts me as a Rockets fan because I can't watch the Rockets. I can watch all other teams if I wanted to. I don't want to pay for League Pass. It's that simple. I don't want to pay for League Pass.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to pay for
Clear. I will rather illegally stream. Also, like fam, like the need, in my opinion, and you talking about casual, so I get it. But the need for stories, bro. Watch the game. Giannis is doing all-time stuff on a nightly basis, damn near. Luka Doncic, all-time stuff on a nightly basis. Jokic, all-time stuff on a nightly basis. SGA, all-time stuff. Then when you do have players like that,
they're doing it now. They did not have a story that grabbed people's attention before they did that stuff. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that matters.
It
If you're an
does.
NBA fan,
I named
you care about the NBA. I don't care if I'm an NBA fan. I don't care about what Zion did in college. I don't care.
bro.
I don't like. I'm an
Imagine
NBA
if
fan.
Zion actually had discipline and like performed up to what he was after doing what he did at Duke. We wouldn't be having as much problems with this whole face of the league stuff. Imagine if John Morant didn't want to cosplay as a street thug. Like, bro, come on. Like,
I don't know.
These guys.
I think that people just don't like the game, Quinn. I
mean,
just don't think that
like
they
said,
are fans.
It's many reasons. But
yeah, like the face of the league, bro. Like it gives me weird vibes. Like, why do men want to see aura? Like, why do you want to see another man's aura so much? Why do you care about his history and who his mom and dad was? I don't care. Can he hoop when he gets to the NBA?
Bro,
that's what I care about. Can he hoop? Is he an elite player or is he not an elite player? That's what I care about as a fan. It's like when people talk about scoring and they like, oh, he can hezzy tween and get a bucket, but the other guy, he could just get a bucket. So that doesn't really like, do you want a sex appeal or do you want a bucket? Like, I don't like, that's what befuddles my mind.
How do you grab attention? How do you grab a new generation of fans if you don't have like some storyline leading up into their debut?
The discourse that I see on the internet I don't feel like NBA is dying.
What do you think about Giannis before he
But what I'm saying is, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, from what I see online and the discourse I see about the NBA on a nightly basis on all social media platforms, it doesn't give me the NBA is dying. It's not like I don't see nobody talking about the NBA. People talk about the NBA on a nightly basis. So somebody is watching. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're not watching it on TV the legal way, but somebody is watching these games. So it's like, I really have just come to the conclusion. One, I'm tired of talking about it. Two, these dudes don't like basketball. The same people are the hit dogs that are hollering was doing this 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I got a friend. I won't name him. I got a friend who went to a game with another friend that I also won't name. He said that they went to go watch James Harden. And he said the whole game, all he did was complain about the way James Harden played basketball. Like, bruh, like he said the whole game, all he did was complain about the way that they play basketball on the floor. That's not an NBA fan. That's somebody that misses what they watched growing up. Get with the times, dog. Are you still riding on a horse and carriage, or do you got a car? Get with the times.
Yeah, that's cool. That's why you got your take. That's why I think that like that's one of the big reasons. I think what I'm talking about is drawing fans to you. Yeah. Drawing fans to you, new fans to you, and also existing fans to you, because we are like I didn't really know Anthony Edwards' stories. I mean, when it's done, I haven't really followed a lot of these players as their college freshmen, if they even go to college, if they don't just go G League and then show up in the league a year later, and those things. Because the reason I'm speaking about it, because like I think American fan base needs that story to get re-engaged again. I think they do. Maybe that's crazy. I think that's part of it. We gotta have some kind of story, some kind of feat leading up into. I look at all the proof is in the pudding, bro. These players I named, they did pretty cool things. Then they just brought a fan base and they just brought attention to it as soon as they made their debut.
I got a question. Was James Harden American?
Yeah.
When he was averaging 36 points per game, 34 points per game, putting up 60-point triple-doubles, 50-point triple-doubles, 40-point triple-doubles, what were people saying? He's an American. He was born here in L.A.
What were people saying?
What were people saying about that? They were complaining.
Oh, yeah.
When Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double, what were people doing? When Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double, what were they? He's American, from L.A. He's from L.A. They were complaining. They don't like basketball.
I knew
but they don't like basketball.
Bro,
they don't like it.
I'm not saying that my reason is why this is happening. I'm saying yours is valid, bro. I'm saying mine is valid. It's just a less talked about point.
Then people want to talk about 3-point shooting. Why isn't DeMar DeRozan the most popular player in the league? He shoots nothing but middies. Why isn't he the most popular player in the league? He shoots middies. He plays like Kobe. He plays like Kobe. He plays like Kobe. Why isn't he the most popular player in the league?
Yeah. I mean, shit, I don't
come on, dog. Why isn't he play? He shoots middies. He barely takes any threes.
That basketball don't got haters, bro. Like basketball,
Come
hate
on,
basketball
dog.
discourse runs on hate.
They just don't like. We are trying to entertain people that actively don't like the product, bro. It's like trying to make me like wrestling. I'm not gonna do it, dog. I'm
Yeah.
33. I'm too old. Like I'm not gonna enjoy
But
seeing
see,
people
but
fake hit
people
each
are
other.
complaining, but they also want variance in the game. But I mean, how do you have variance when you have a meta game?
It is variance in the game, fam. The
But they
Rockets
don't watch
don't
these
play like the
games.
Celtics.
They don't watch OKC.
They don't watch the games.
They
Again,
don't
you're
watch.
trying to entertain people and sway people to like a product that they don't watch. The Rockies don't play like the Celtics. OKC doesn't play like Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't play like Orlando. Orlando doesn't play like Dallas. Like, what are people talking about with this variant shit? What are they talking about? They get a clip from a 30-second stretch in a game where the teams go down and brick 4 or 5 threes and say, this is why the league is unwatchable. They don't watch the games. And then when people like shot selection is bad some nights guys like LaMelo, he takes bad shots to me. Sometimes I feel like LaMelo, he actively does not take good shots for a point guard, especially.
He's just trying shit, bro.
Yeah, he takes one-legged
He
fading away
takes some of the
floaters.
craziest shots just to see.
Exactly. Another American, and he has a story. Ball brothers, everybody like them. So I like again, why isn't Charlotte the most popular team in the league? You talk about story, you talk about backstory, you talk about American. He has it. He has
And
it.
he lived up to it, bro. These okay. Part of what's also hurting the league is these young guys did not live up to what they were supposed to be. Ben Simmons failed. Zion failed as of now. John Morant yet to be. He missed his boat. He missed his opportunity. We'll see.
What about Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards. We're trying. We're trying to get him there, right? Tatum,
Devin Booker.
I mean,
Carl Anthony Towns.
Carl.
Like it's American,
Not Carl.
bro. It's like people nitpicking, dog. Like not you. People nitpicking. We have great American talent in the league. And I know Carl Anthony Towns, Dominican Republic, but he went to Kentucky. Like he went to Kentucky. We watched him in college. We watched him come into the league. Like we seen this guy and people, bro, to me, it's just people, they miss him. They miss him. That's what they miss. That's what they want. They don't, that's what they want, bro.
Yeah,
I told JR today, I said, bro, you're not going to be happy until Kobe back in the league. So just leave it alone. Like you don't like the guy unless it's Kyrie Irving. You don't like the guys that play today. So it's nothing that anybody can do. And I just told you about the American players, about Harden, Russell Westbrook, all these other great American guys that won MVPs, that accomplish a lot of stuff, that get shitted on constantly. Damian Lillard, another one. I know he went to Weber State. He wasn't the most successful guy coming out, but come on, bro. Big name coming out, I guess I should say. But come on, dog. He rap. He do everything AI did. Like the nigga rap, all that from Oakland.
He's
loyal.
Yeah.
But my bad. Go ahead. Segue to the next topic. I apologize.
I want to segue this. These are all good points. But I'm going to segue this into: is the league hurting because it doesn't also have a face of the league that it can pass the torch to and market? Because I feel like there was a perfect storm. Like when LeBron, Melo, Wade came into the league, and you still had Kobe and Shaq, and then from their era, you had Steph and KD come a little later, and then it's just like those dudes just took off running. Chris Paul too, and it's just like I haven't felt like a crop of guys has done that enough for the league to transition. I mean, the league's trying, but these guys.
But they have to be American born. They can't be great international players because then nobody will care. They gotta be from here. Like that's silly to me, dog. Like we watch the Olympics every year, and we know that the competition every 4 years is getting tougher. It's tougher for Americans to win every single Olympics, every single time. Yet we're ignoring the great international talent because they wasn't raised in Philly. We ignoring Luka Doncic and Jokic because Jokic not from Miami. Like, what do we like? I don't understand it, dog. Like, I really don't understand it. Was Hakeem ignored because he was from Nigeria? Was Dirk ignored because he was from Germany?
And I don't know, bro. I honestly do not know why the league isn't pushing. Like, I would think Jokic, Luka would be top of the freaking list. Like, for people that you would push as the face of the league, but it's like something about their off-court persona, something about maybe, like you said, maybe they're not American. Something is there that is keeping them from being pushed like that and being in the minds of the casual like that. That would just draw in views. I mean, it's a strange phenomenon, and like we were saying earlier, the young stars that they tried, they haven't really been able to. I mean, like I said, John wants to be a rapper or like a street dude. He had his chance, bro. It was there. They were about to give him all this money and give him this big marketing push, but he screwed it up. And then Zion is not disciplined enough. I mean, also he gets hurt a lot, but he just doesn't seem, it doesn't appear to the fan that he takes it seriously. So, and Ben Simmons is self-explanatory. Wemby's got a chance, but I mean, I feel like they're even giving Wemby more.
Wemby doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance because he's from France. So you can't market him because he's from France. Apparently, he's not great because he's from France.
Bro. Like they didn't really give Luka and Giannis and Co. When they first cut up. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Giannis got 2 MVPs, a DPOY. This is just something that I said. Like I genuinely, in my heart and soul, just feel like people not watching the games. It's easy to be on the side that's the loudest and not the side that's the quietest. That's why anytime you push back, the loudness tries to overtalk you, and they make jokes and they say, "Oh, well, you think everything is perfect with the NBA." I've never thought nothing was perfect in any league. I think that all leagues have flaws because they're run by humans. But at the same time, I'm not going to whine and cry about it all day, and I'm going to try to understand why things are what they are in today's league. So when we talk about the face of the league, bro, Anthony Edwards, he's just not good enough to be a face of the league, in my opinion. He's not like a French top 10. Like, how many players can you name that is either definitively better or even just arguably on his level? Like, how much better is Anthony Edwards truly? Not even trying to be funny or disrespectful. How much better is he truly than Jaylen Brown? Is it significantly?
Yeah.
Is he significantly better outside of age? That's the only thing you're looking at. And Jaylen Brown he was drafted before Tatum, but Jaylen Brown didn't get to come into a situation where he could just shoot like that. Boston always had structure and integrity there. So
I mean, it's weird because I feel like Tatum and Brown kind of lived up to it. I mean, they were always they never really got the type of marketing push that I would have expected, given what they've accomplished in a short amount of time. But you're right. I mean, like, to be the face of the league, you got to be almost a generational talent to the viewers, and you have to play and be good enough to, like, okay, I got to see what he's gonna do tonight because I might see something amazing. But do I feel that way about Anthony Edwards' game? No, I really don't even feel that way about Tatum, the Jays. I mean, I like those guys, but I don't feel like their game is like, oh God, I got to watch them two play. No, Jokic, I feel that way about, right? Giannis, I feel that way about. Luka, I feel that way about. And the existing guys we talked about, the OGs, yeah, I feel that way about those guys, for sure. But it's just like, where? I mean, heck, I would even John Morant. He's also, like, again, another guy that I would be like, I like to watch John Morant play basketball.
I do. I prefer Ja over Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, like I would rather watch John Morant game over that. I would even prefer a Zion game, but it is hard for me to even get into the pool because I'm like, man, like,
he out.
Yeah, like, okay. Mm-hmm. And it's just like,
could it be something about attention span? Could it be something about our attention span now?
Yeah.
Like, maybe back in the day, the reason why journalism was what it was is because it wasn't competing with social media. You have to compete with social media now. Social media is microwave. It's quick. If a dunk happened, you can't afford to talk about it on SportsCenter Top 10 at 10 p.m. after the game. No, you got to post it now because by the time you get to SportsCenter Top 10, it's been posted a million times. Everybody's seen it. People used to get off of work and be like, I missed the games. Let me watch the highlights.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen anymore.
Our attention span is cooked, bro. We have
it doesn't
too much stuff, bro. I'm talking about movies, TV. I mean, so also obviously social media, your own social life, work, whatever you do as a side hustle. Like we live in a time where you could do almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
We have access to infinite entertainment. Really, it comes down to your time management. Right, like how much time? Like, I mean, I might be looking at something on the internet, and then I click on something, and then now I'm in a rabbit hole. I've clicked on 4 other things, and now it's like,
Dog, I literally heard somebody say that today. That is scary. It's like almost like either you watch the same video I watched, or you just that's scary. Like
no,
because I was
on my phone,
watching.
bro. I was on my phone like looking for some computer parts, and then like
Yeah,
I got into some other like stuff, and I was like, oh, well, there goes 30 minutes. And
yeah,
yeah, and it's just kind of like, how does the NBA even compete with that? Like I might look in, and then also the fan interaction has evolved so much, bro. I have
facts,
fun talking to other fans than listening to talking to us on TV. I don't care what
facts.
people say.
When the last time you watched the game and didn't have your phone in your hand to talk about the game play by play?
Yeah,
Like that's another thing. Like people actually had to watch the games because they didn't have access to this, that. I think that it's not documented. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like when people the news show murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. And it's like, oh, the world is such a terrible place. Bro, that's always been going on. But now we have cameras and people talking about it 24/7 in a news cycle. So it seems like it's way more than probably what it's always been. But no,
yeah,
that people just documenting it now.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. The media creates bubbles that aren't real. I mean, we saw this past election. People thought that we were more liberal than we are, and most of the country voted for Republican. So,
Yeah,
like, you got to get out. Like, it's just it is what it is. Like, the media can make something seem more pervasive than it is,
correct.
and
That's their job.
yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. I
They're
know we got off the
trying
face
to
of the
play
league
on your
changing. My bad, man. I ain't
crocodile
mean to take
brain.
us there.
Yeah,
I ain't mean to take us there, bro. My fault. I got off. We saw my face of the league. Can I bring up one other gripe?
yeah,
Kendrick Perkins was on his show, the NBA Today thing yesterday during Christmas. And Shams had reported about Jimmy Butler wanting to be traded, and he's saying Phoenix or Golden State. And Kendrick Perkins, this is another reason why I think that type of dialogue does a disservice to the league. And I also feel like this is a chain reaction of why views are down. In my opinion, I could be totally wrong. Kendrick Perkins said Miami Heat needs to do Jimmy Butler a favor and trade him to the Phoenix Suns for Bradley Beal. And they was like, and Malik was like, well, Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. Yeah, but you telling me Bradley Beal wouldn't want to go to Miami and put his feet in the sand? I said, what the fuck does that have to do with basketball?
bro. They got to fill the air somehow.
What basketball reason did you just give me right there, bro? Like, and just like, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of why basketball sense, it just doesn't make sense. But why, like, he wants to put his feet in the sand? Like, that's that, bro. That type of McDonald's Happy Meal basketball analysis is another reason why I think the game is struggling, bro.
Yep. And I say, people say this, they critique me as a LeBron fan. I'm like, look, the media's cooked after LeBron retires because they make some of these, they made some of the dumbest topics just to like fill content on the air. And now that he's getting older and it's about to be over, they are just throwing shit at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's so obvious because like, bro, you have nothing to talk about. You have no topics, no in depth, and it's like I when I watch some of these games and I watch the halftime shows, I just tune out, bro. I don't want to hear anything. Like, they're not gonna say nothing. Like
insightful.
If it's like you said, Kendrick Perkins talking about how these shows come on like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever, just to cover the block, right? Like I'm not gonna watch it because Kendrick Perkins is gonna say something dumb to just get some clicks.
It angers me. It angers me, bro. Like that's why I kind of like I stopped. I used to like watching like shows, like the sports shows, and I find myself now scouring the internet for people like us for content because you watch the game for the purity. You don't watch the game to create narratives.
Yeah.
You not try. If the only time you push a narrative is if you're trying to push a narrative to show how ridiculous another narrative is. Like that's the only time you really push narratives, which I understand because it can be annoying. But like, bro, like that type of analysis is exactly what's wrong with the NBA. It's exactly what's wrong with the NBA. You're not doing the game a disservice. And I've been saying this since I was like, I'm talking about in high school, bro. I'm like, bro, if you only talk about when they used to complain about, well, why Yao Ming getting all these votes? Why Allen Iverson getting all these votes when they're past their prime and they're no longer good? I'm like, that's all y'all talk about. Y'all not talking about no other players. Y'all not talking about the young enough. This always been a problem to me. I just didn't have Twitter to tweet it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because the hyper focus on like player legacies, player movement, and just creating these scenarios, and it's just annoying, bro. It's obnoxious because I'm like, that's why I said like LeBron kind of was the lightning rod for it because he was an easy target because you either like him or you love him, or sorry, you like him or you hate him, and they had content for you. And now it's like okay, we just got to get. How can we even be more hot? Like make even more hot takes that are just drawing eyeballs that are just really ignorant. And it's just like, man, okay, bro. Like if that's what y'all gonna do, like I feel like they're quick to like criticize a player or talk about his legacy or talk about what he ain't doing, and it's just annoying. I'm tired of hearing that talk. Like
yeah.
Jokic or whoever lost the game. Nikola Jokic didn't got no help. He ain't clutch. I'm like, man, I don't care about that stuff, bro. Like, why did they lose? What are they gonna do? What happened in the game? Like, talk about that stuff. I don't need to hear about is this player a failure as a basketball player?
Facts.
Bro, that is trash. That's garbage.
Elementary school analysis.
I could never do a day in my fucking life, and you saying it's trash on live TV. Like, so
yeah. That's why you got to listen for podcasts. That's why you have to listen for podcasts. You have to find podcasts where they talk sensible. They got a podcast with Tim Legler. I listen to that. I listen to Brian Windhorst's podcast. Before he got fired, I used to listen to Zach Lowe's podcast. Yep. Like, they talked about the teams. They gave you numbers. They said, why this number means that. They said, oh, what's this guy? This lineup works better with this lineup. Or this. They talked about the game. They didn't talk about.
I wish we had this shit in the 2000s, man. Yeah. That would have been so much fun, bro. Because the 2000s, like, we could chat Kobe, AI, Young LeBron, T-Mac. Like, you hate on T-Mac.
I don't hate on T-Mac, man. Oh, my God.
But nah, bro, like it would have been fun to talk about the game from a, like, hey, I saw this, it was cool, let's talk about this. Like, I'm in a Warriors chat space just hearing about how they feel about why they lost the game. That's more entertaining to me than hearing
Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to get him some help. They got to go get Jimmy Butler. And you're not telling nobody logically why it doesn't make sense for them to do that or what that trade, the ramifications of that trade could actually mean if they were to do it. You're not giving none of the fans no insight like that about the CBA, about how they can't add any picks to it, how a third. You're not doing none of that. You just saying they should go get Jimmy Butler and he can go get a bucket next and he a dog and he get up in them trenches and he's softer than funeral home music. Like, bro. Like,
and then you know, right after that is some fan. Well, nah. Now they don't want to compete. They just want to team up. Ain't no competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and there you have it.
That's a chain reaction. A chain reaction because it's bullshit that starts at the top that falls down the damn mountain. And that is one of the main reasons why I want to do my own podcast. And that's one of the main reasons why I only listen to the podcast that I like. Because it's literally that simple, bro.
Yeah.
It's
because at some point, like, it's just brain rot. It's bad. Like,
it's bad.
you don't appreciate what you're watching. Appreciate what these guys are doing. So you know, that is something that's going to take time. You know, I don't think it's going to be resolved overnight because we have been they've been programming the media to be overly critical and negative about the product. And also fans have become negative about it. So it's just it's gonna take time to get out of this, man.
I don't think the media is educated. To be honest with you, bro. I don't think Stephen A. Smith watches a lot of basketball.
No, he can't. He can't, bro. He works too much.
He works too much, and he's a millionaire.
$100 million?
Yes, bro. He works too much, and he's a millionaire, bro. Yeah, like, it's not enough hours. It's not enough hours in a day.
He is traveling game to game.
Yes, bro. It's not. He doesn't watch. I don't think Kendrick Perkins really watches basketball. I don't think that they watch basketball, bro. And I think that you can tell by what they say. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why when Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix Suns, people automatically say the Phoenix are contenders, and the reason why is because it's KD. You know, rather than actually giving you no, because they still suck in this, they still suck here, they still suck here. So you should probably see a sweep coming in the first round when they actually play a complete team. But because you see KD, Booker, and Bill, you're brainwashed into thinking idiotic thoughts because you don't know the game. You don't follow the game.
Yeah.
Is that, and then fans who listen to your idiotic sense think that, well, KD is 7 foot, what he could shoot from 40 because that's all they've been hearing for the past 15 years. Like,
you know what that does? That oversimplifies the game to a point where you can't have dialogue because the game is not that simple. Winning a playoff series is not that simple. It's not
Nope.
as simple as, hey, we got these 3 guys and that's it. Because you could have 3 guys, but if you got a bunch of G leaguers out there, they can get fucking swept.
Mm-hmm.
So like that is what it is. I mean, there's basketball reasons why the Golden State Warriors were good, why the Boston Celtic Big Three was good, why the Heatles were good, why the Cavs were good. Like there's basketball reasons why that worked. But if you just say, hey, I got these 3 big names that put up buckets or whatever, and you got a bunch of no names, just guys that don't connect anything, and they get swept, you can't be like, well, I thought KD would drop 40 and Beal would drop 40. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. It isn't math, bro. You don't just say, okay, well, I got this 30-point per game guy, this 30-point per game guy, this, and like that's not how a game works.
They think it's 2K. You know what I'm saying? And you know that's really what it comes down to. They think that it's 2K, and that's what it is. Did you want to get to the Christmas Day games? Because I know you said that was another topic. And we had a great slate. What was a 5-game slate? 5-game slate, really good. Yeah, man, it was very entertaining. NFL, my Texans embarrassed me. I cut that game off quick. I'm talking about I was not about to let them ruin me. I was already sick. I was already like physically sick. Like I still don't feel well. You thought I was about to let them make me sicker? No. But go ahead, man. You got it.
Stress on Christmas.
But what was your I guess review of the Christmas Day games and the slate in general?
I only watched 4, so I only watched New York versus the Spurs. I watched Philly versus Boston, and then the Lakers game.
You didn't watch Dallas?
I caught the first half of Dallas.
Okay.
I didn't catch the second half of Dallas game, but I think it was probably the most competitive Christmas slate that we've had in a while because none of them were blowouts. Dallas, I remember Luka going out, so I thought maybe they might be get blowed out, so I left. But they competed, right? They still competed with Luka out, and that happens. I am really happy that Wemby had the showing he did because that goes into our face league. Like we need guys, like young guys that are going to be stars, making their name out there. So that was good to see. Philly almost choked that game in spectacular ways. I really want to put Paul George in a pack. But we just talked about being negative players, and I want to cut him a little bit of slack because I know he's been injured. I know he's been going through a lot, so I'm gonna give him a little bit of grace. The Lakers versus Warriors game did not disappoint at all. It's great seeing 2 legends like Steph and LeBron go at it, and the Warriors meltdown was crazy. I mean, Steph was hitting shots, and I was just like, bro, no, like how is this even possible? And LeBron just, I want to, side note.
All right, here we go.
As a LeBron fan, I just had to sit back and reminisce and be like, man, you know what? LeBron's rookie season just has to be like, we have to one day go back and just actually analyze it because he's just been so consistent for fucking ever. Forever, dog. Like, I mean, just from a production standpoint, just IQ, playmaking, doing everything on the floor. And I feel the same way. I feel the same is going to happen with James Harden too. Like, he's going to age amazing when he gets older because of his IQ. Nikola Jokic is going to age. He's going to have amazing longevity because of his IQ. But just like LeBron's rookie season, bro, to come in that young, be that smart, athletic, and do what he did was insane. And then just to see him just at 40 still out here doing things to help his team win is pretty cool. I'm gonna let you speak on I didn't catch the Nuggets and Suns game. I caught the highlights a little bit.
I didn't. I fell asleep.
Yeah, I wasn't up for that. But I mean, this just felt good to see competitive basketball and like see the intensity. I am upset that they did not have Christmas Day jerseys because that was a huge mistake, I think, by the NBA. Because I've always liked Christmas jerseys. They were always. I'm
more happy that we got I would rather have competitive games than Christmas jerseys. I was actually.
We have both. We live in America.
No, we can have both. I want to have both. I definitely want to have both. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I really wasn't happy with the slate of games. Just being honest with you, I think OKC should have got a game. I think Cleveland should have got a game. I understand that they scheduled these games before the season. And again, that goes back to I think that people don't like basketball because the Lakers are like the 7th seed and the Warriors are like 8th or 9th seed. And yet that probably had the most ratings because of LeBron and Steph Curry, more so than if we actually put a good quality team on with actual young stars that are up and coming. nobody would have watched because it's not LeBron and Steph, which again I think is a disservice of the league and of the NBA overall. And as a basketball purist, I would have much rather watched that than LeBron and Steph. Same old story. I've seen that story again. They played 13. I think they played like 9 times or 7 times on Christmas or some shit like that.
Yeah, they play all
Like
the time.
they played
Yeah.
5 times or some shit. It's crazy. Like, bro, I don't need to see that again. But some people like to see that over and over again. Cool. It was a fun game. It was competitive. The 5-game slate, though, like I said, I wish it was different teams. But it was very competitive. I really enjoyed all of the games. Minnesota, you said that Philly almost choked. Minnesota almost choked. My guy Jeff had to get the shades, man. He having a little, issues. It's cool though. Hopefully,
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, man, for real. But yeah, Minnesota almost choked that big lead away. They was up, like I said, by as much as 28, and they choked that lead, and it got to a 3-point game. I said, man, Minnesota really about to do it. They really about to do it, but they didn't do it.
They came back and lost that shit. Yeah, oh my god!
No, it would have been crazy, but no, they didn't do it. Yeah, the Philly game also, that was one of those games, man. Like Philly almost lost it, but I think that Boston and Dallas, they just dug themselves into too big of a hole. Like the basketball guys are not going to bless you if you do that. Like they just not going to allow you to do that. The Phoenix and the Nuggets one, I watched the first half of that game. Nuggets and Phoenix played 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah,
and Denver won. Yeah, Denver won. So I don't like the way the NBA schedules now with the back-to-back teams playing each other. This is not baseball. Like
the NBA is not creative enough, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't. When it comes to they're trying to save travel. That's what they're trying to do.
That's bullshit. I want cross-conference rivalry matchups on Christmas Day. That should be the day you throw out. I'm trying to throw out. Don't save those marquee matchups for like March, February. I want them on Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. So if I want to see Boston versus Denver, I want to see that. That needs to be on Christmas Day. If I want to see OKC versus
Cleveland,
yeah, I want to see that on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
I want to see tough cross-conference match. I don't give a fuck if I travel. I don't care, bro. I'm at home with my family. Entertain me.
Yeah, no, for sure. And even outside of Christmas, though, I don't like when they schedule teams to play each other back to back. Like, this is not the playoffs and it's not baseball. I feel like it's an unfair advantage. If one team loses, the next game they likely not gonna lose. It's just percentages, unless you literally like the Wizards playing Cleveland twice. Like, that's the only time like I feel like you're not gonna lose. But I just don't like it. I think it's an unfair advantage, to be honest. For like both teams. Like if they lose, they just gonna come back stronger the next game. But overall, man, I didn't have a problem with the way that the games played out. It was entertaining. I have no complaints.
I mean, the lineup was actually just anticlimactic, right? Like it was like,
What do you mean? Oh, like the slate of games.
The slate was anticlimactic. Like, but
I like Denver and Phoenix. Good. Denver and Phoenix, that was one I was like, I think they. Like, you got to think, this is how I think. On Christmas, most people are, like, drunk with their families. Like, not a lot of people, if the game is on, they're not really paying attention at that time at 9:30, especially if you got to go to work the next day. Christmas is on a Wednesday. Why not put Jokic, who, in my opinion, is the best player in the world? Why not put him in the Timberwolves spot in the slot? You know what I'm saying? Like, put him there and put Philly in them at 9 o'clock. Like, I get there on the West Coast, so they way before us and stuff like that. So just logistically, it don't make sense. But I don't know. I just think that putting Jokic on that late is not fair.
To have like the Warriors play the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, so you jump off Christmas with Steph Curry in the Garden.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
That's cool. You can just roll from
there. Or like they said, I know you said you like cross conference, but Trae Young and the Hawks against the Knicks. That's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
The fans put it in Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? Like,
rivalries, that's what they do. But they be rehashing stuff. And I'd be like, man, come on.
OKC versus Dallas. You could have ran that back.
Yeah.
But they played in the in-season tournament and got drugged. So, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I guess the 5-game slate didn't bother me. It was fine. This is not really a topic I have much to say on, to be honest with you, bro. It was cool. Do more of this. Do more of this competitiveness. I like it. But even the competitiveness is kind of a lie because Timberwolves was up by 28. Philly was up by a lot of points. Like the
Yeah.
games is over to a casual fan. Oh, this is over. Unless you just sitting there like this, like the game is over pretty much.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
you got anything else for me, man? Like I'm
Nah,
cool.
man. I'm out of
You
here.
sure?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, man. I mean, shoot, this was a good episode. This is a long episode. I'm definitely going to break this up
When we
into
got these
pieces, man.
episodes, we got a lot to say. So
No,
y'all
for
tune
sure.
in.
It's been a minute. Yeah, man. But that's been episode 33 of the No Narratives podcast. It is officially a wrap. I don't know what's going on with the football. We're going to have to get back into the football. We got a lot. I got a lot of kicking CJ back, and I got to do CJ Stroud's back in. I got a lot of kicking of that shit in to do. But other than that, man, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment below, and shout out to my boy Quinn, man. Thank you,
All
bro.
right, man.
What's
See
going
y'all.
on?
Have a happy holidays.